welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. On this channel, I inspire the creative in you by posting videos on mostly sewing tutorials, but I also dabble in bead making, fashion style videos, and fun DIYs with a sprinkle of natural hair. So if you know that those areas are what you're interested in, then please make sure you subscribe. I post videos every Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my new video. I really appreciate your support. So as you can see from the title of this video is a tutorial on how to sew this beautiful baby doll dress, and I just love it because I was really going for a dress that I could wear, just easy to wear, it's easy and breezy. So yeah, that is how I came up with this dress, and I really love it, and I hope that you do too. So for this tutorial, I'm going to have timestamps down below so that if you have anything you want to check, for easy navigation, you could go check the description box down below, and just look for what you're looking for. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to know how I created this dress, then make sure you keep on watching. Alright, so these are the following materials you're going to need for this tutorial. First of all, you're going to need your basic bodice block pattern. I have a tutorial on how to draw that, and that's linked up below. Then you're also going to need your sleeve pattern, and I also have a tutorial on this, and I'm going to link it up there. So you're just going to need your basic tools, which are your rulers, chalk, and then scissors. So for this, you're going to need fabric. So you're going to need 2.5 yards of fabric. The measurements that you're going to need for this tutorial is mostly your dress length. Then the other measurements that we're going to need, we're just going to work our way with them. But your measurement that you need that is tailored to your fit is just the dress length. How long do you want your dress to be? So yeah, then after that, the next thing that you want to do is that you want to fold your fabric into two. You want to have 2 layers of fabric, and then you want to take the front panel of your basic bodice block, and then you just want to arrange it on the fold like so. And then after you arrange it on the fold, then you want to trace it out. Then once you trace it out, then we're just going to stop at the upper bust line. We're not going to go to the bust line, we're just going to stop at the upper bust line. So then after we do that, then we're just going to add seam allowance at the bottom. So we're just going to add 0.25 seam allowance at the bottom, and then we're also going to add seam allowance at the right side as well. And then after that, we're going to alter the neckline. In order for you to get your neckline, you just want to measure 2 inches from the center front. You want to measure 2 inches, and then after that, you just mark that 2 inches, and then you just connect that 2 inches mark all the way down to your upper bust line, as you can see there. And then after that, you just want to connect that 2 inches mark again to your armhole points there like so. And then after that, you just want to trace it out, and then you just cut it out like so. And then after that, you are done with your front panel. So we're just going to do the exact same thing back panel. So as you can see, I just eliminated the zip allowance because we're not going to be using zip allowance for this. So as you can see, I'm just tracing it out. And then after you trace it out, then you just want to work with the neckline. So as you can see, I'm just marking 2 inches, just making sure that it stops at 2 inches, and then I'm just connecting it to like the line that we have there, the 1 inch line that we went down. And then after that, I'm just going to connect the 2 inches mark. I'm just going to connect it to the armhole, to the shoulder point, there like so that we have a slant there and this. So now it's time for us to just add our seam allowance at the bottom, and then add seam allowance at the side, and then just want to cut it out, and then we have our front panel and our back panel. So we're going to be arranging the fabric the exact same way for us to cut out the sleeve pattern. So you just want to arrange it on a fold, and then after that, you just want to trace out the sleeve pattern. Then just want to add seam allowance. If you've not added already, you just want to add it to like the bicep side, so that it's more free around that side. So yeah, then after you do that, then you just want to cut it out. So we're going to be stopping at the bicep side because as you can see from the dress, we're going to add the gathered side there as well. So we're also going to be stopping at the bicep line for this tutorial as well. Alright, so then for the gathered sleeve, you want to fold your fabric into 2 first, and then you just want to mark the length of the gathered sleeve. So I went with 7 inches, so I just marked 7 inches, and then after I marked 7 inches, then I just did it on the other side, so that I'll be able to get a straight line. What I went with for this measurement was that I just multiplied my bicep by 2.5. So it depends on you, depends on how full you want the gathers to be. If you want it to be very full, then you could go with 3 or even 4. So I got 27 inches for instance, and then since this is on a fold, then I just divided 27 by 2, and that gave me like 13.5, I think. So yeah, that was the measurement of the width of the sleeve, of the gathered sleeve. So then after you do that, then you just want to cut it out. So for the gathers on the dress, as you can see, I first of all just folded my fabric into two. So I'm working with the length of the fabric here. So as you can see, most fabrics like this come in 60 inches per length. Yes, so if I fold it into two, that means I have 30, right? So my underbust measurement was 33 inches. So I just added 7 to that, and that gave me 40. So for each layer I wanted it to be increasing as it got down. So for the first layer I wanted that to be times 2, so I just multiplied 40 times 2, that was 80. Then for the second layer I multiplied it by 2.5. 40 times 2.5, that gave me 100. And then for the bottom layer it was 40 times 3, and that gave me 120 inches. Then for the dress length, so I went with my dress length. I wanted my dress length to be 38 inches long, and because I measured from my shoulder to my to my upper bust, my shoulder to my upper bust was 8 inches. So if I remove 8 inches from the dress length, that gave me 30 inches. So yeah, so what I did was that I wanted 3 layers. So depends on the amount of layers that you want. So if you want 3 layers or you want 2 layers, all you just have to do is just remove your measurements from your shoulder to your upper bust. You want to remove the measurements from your dress length. So I wanted my dress length to be 38 inches, so I just removed my shoulder to my upper bust measurements, which is 8 inches. I just removed that, and then that gave me 30 inches. So I went ahead to divide it by the amount of layers that I want, which is 3. So 30 divided by 3, that gave me 10. So I knew that each layer has to be 10 inches. So then after that I just went ahead to cut out 5 layers, which are 11 inches long, because I had to leave seam allowance. So I just left 0.5 inches seam allowance at the top and at the bottom. So let us get on to sewing. So the first thing that I want to do is that we want to join all of the layers together. So as you can see, we're just going to join them together so that we have a very long strip of fabric. So I want to do that for all of the layers. So because we're going to be gathering it, so the way I did it was that the last layer I'm only going to be gathering one side of the fabric, right? But for the 2 layers I'm going to be gathering both the top and the bottom of the fabric. I hope that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm just running a straight stitch with like my setting at the longest stitch so that I'll be able to gather it. So after I did that for the top and bottom of the first layer, the top and bottom of the second layer, and just the top for the third layer, and then I just went ahead to start gathering it. So once you've finished gathering it, this is what it should look like. You should have the first layer, the top and the bottom should be gathered. Second layer, top and the bottom should be gathered. By the third layer, only the top should be gathered. I hope that. Then after that, next thing you want to do is I want to get onto sewing the top of the dress. So the first thing that you want to do now is that you want to take the 2 layers of the front panel, and then you want to join them together, right? So we want to join them together at that point there. We just want to join them 2 inches long. We just want to make the seam 2 inches long with a seam allowance of 0.25 inches, or you could do 0.5 inches. So here I already joined it together, like you can see there. So I already gone ahead to like hem the other side of the neckline here. So I just folded it in twice, and then I just sewed it in like that. So yeah, I'm just going to do the other side here as well. So as you can see, I'm just folding it twice so that the frayed edges would be tucked in. So yeah, that is just what I'm doing. And then after I did that, this is what it is looking like. And then I just went ahead to hem the back panel as well. I just hemmed it, just sewing it the same way I sewed the front panel, just taking it in together. So then after you're done with that, then you should look like this, and your seams should align like so. That means you sewed it well. So the next thing I want to do is I just shoulder line like so. And then after I did that, I'm just sewing the side seams as well. And then yeah, I just want to sew the left and the right. So now what you want to do now, as you can see, already join it together at the side seam and at the shoulder. So what we want to do now is I want to measure the width of the bicep. So as you can see, it is 20.5 inches, as you can see there. So what I'm just going to do now is that you want to get your gathered piece, and then you just want to make sure that it's going to align with the top part of the dress. So that we already measured that, and it's giving us 20.5 inches, which means that the round of the upper bust that we're working with is 41 inches. So you want to ensure that your gathered piece, that top part, is 41 inches, so that when we sew it together, it's going to come, like it's going to be able to like fit around the top part of the dress. I hope that makes sense. So at this point, I'd already, pulled it out to make sure that, it's the exact same measurement. So, I folded it into two, and it gave me 20 and a half, and that was ready to go. So what I did for this particular dress was that, I wanted it to like have that like, kind of like triangle effect, although I don't think it really like came out well. But, I think that if I did not add this simple thing, then, it would have just looked like a box. So what I did was that, the top part is 21 and a half inches, right? Like, so 40 inches altogether, 41 inches altogether. But I wanted it to, have that triangular shape. So what I did was that I added 5 inches to that 41 inches, which is 46 inches. So that means that the top part is supposed to be 41 inches, while the bottom part is going to be 46 inches. So yeah, so I got that. I was able to achieve that. And then as you can see now, I'm just going to, sew it down, sew it all the way down at that side seam, so that, it would become one piece that is joined together like at the side. So after I had achieved that, as you can see, it is going to be 23 inches. Yeah, so that is the long part. So you want to put the long part at the top, okay? Then the next thing is that you want to get your top part of the dress, and then you want to fold it in, like you want to put it like, to the wrong side. And then after that, you want to tuck that long part in, the 46 inches part in, the longest part inwards to the top part of the dress, so that the one that is coming out like so is going to be the slimmer one, is going to be the 41 inches. And then you want to make sure that you're joining the top part of the dress and the gathered parts of the dress, you're joining them with the right sides facing each other. So you just want to arrange it exactly like so. So you want to pin it at the right side and at the left side, so that while you're sewing, you would be able to get like an accurate sewing dimension. So as you can see, you want to make sure that it is arranged exactly like so. You want to make sure that the longest part of the gathered strip is inwards. And then once you're done with that, you just want it's gradually coming together. So yeah, so we're done with the first layer, and it's time for us to work on the second layer. So as you can see, I'm just measuring it. So as you can see, it is 23 inches. And then so I'm going to make sure that the second layer should be 23 inches as well on a fold, so that it will make sense. And then since 23 inches, like the full length is 46 inches, then I just want to add 5 inches to that. Okay, for this one I just made it 6 inches. And then I'm just going to make it 26 inches for the bottom layer. I hope that makes sense. So as each layer is going down, you just want to make sure that you're increasing the width of the bottom layer, so that it just has that like triangular effect, kind of. Yeah. So after I was done with that, and everything aligned, the lower part is 26 inches and the bottom part is 23 inches. Then I just went ahead to start arranging it with the first layer of the dress. So as you can see, I made sure that the longest part was at the top, like at the top of my table, and then I just turned the second layer in. And then after you do that, then you just want to sew it down as well. You want to sew it round as well. So once you've done that, your dress should be looking like this. You should have 2 layers of the gathered part now. So then we just want to work on the last layer, which is the third layer. So for this layer, as you can see, the bottom part does not have any gathers. So all we're going to be working on is the gathers for the top. So we're not going to be adding any inches to any part again. We're just going to be working with the longest measurement that we have now, which is the 52 inches, which on a fold it is 26 inches. So we just want to make sure that the gathered part is up to 26 inches when it's on a fold. the other part of the dress with this third layer like so. So we're just going to, you know, make sure that, you know, the right sides are facing each other, and then we're just going to sew round. So after we're done with that, this is what the dress is looking like now. So we have first layer, second layer, and then our third layer. So for the sleeve, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. You know, as you can see, we have our sleeve, and then we have the gathered part that we need to gather. So we're just going to, you know, sew a straight line with the gathering stitch, and then we're just going to gather it so that, you know, it fits with the bottom part of the sleeve, and then we're just going to join it together, and then we're going to have our sleeve. So once you're done with that, this is what your sleeve should look like. So you should have this for the right hand and for the left hand. And then after you do that, then you just want to get the sleeve, and then you just want to sew it with the right side facing each other like so. You want to sew you just want to sew it all the way down to there so that, you know, it becomes one piece, and then you do that for the other hand as well. So now for you to know the left hand and the right hand, you want to just, you know, put your sleeve like so, and then you would notice that, you know, whatever, you know, part of the sleeve that you have that is smaller than the other part, that is your front panel. So then after that, you want to ensure that we indicated the front panel with our chalk. So you want to make sure that, you know, the place that you indicated aligns with the front panel. Do you understand? So now let's say this is it now. This is the right panel. Sorry, this is the front panel. So you want to make sure that the front panel, like when you arrange your sleeve like so, of course you want to arrange your sleeve with the right sides facing each other. So you just want to ensure that that front panel there aligns with the front panel of the dress itself. I hope that makes sense. So I want to put the sleeve into the dress, and then you want to take that part there that you join the sleeve together, you want to join it with the dress itself. You want to pin it down there with the right sides facing each other, okay? And then, you know, after you do that, then you just want to pin the top part of the dress and the top part of the sleeve as well. And then after that, you know, you just do that for the other side as well, for the other side of the dress as well. And then you take it to your sewing machine to sew. So while sewing your sleeve, you just want to make sure that, you know, you take your time. You know, you just want, because it's like a curve, right? You know, we're sewing a curve, it's not a straight line. So I just want to make sure that, you know, you really like try your best to just, you know, arrange it properly while sewing. So as you can see, you know, while I'm sewing, like I'm just, you know, adjusting it, just making sure that, you know, the two layers, you know, align well with each other. And then, you know, I'm just sewing it with like 0.25 to half an inch seam allowance. So yeah, I'm just going to, you know, arrange it properly, you know, and just sew. And then, you know, once you're done with that, your sleeve should look like this, all good and neat. So yeah, that is that for that. And then you just want to do that for the other side as well. And we are virtually done with the dress. So I just went ahead to hem the bottom part of the dress, and then I also went ahead to hem the bottom part of the sleeve. So this is the final result, and this is what it looks like on. So yeah, this is the final result, and you know, it really serves what I wanted to use it for. See me dancing like what I don't understand. But yeah, you know, I was just really happy with how it came out. You know, it was exactly what I wanted, you know, and it's really nice. And yeah, so this is what it looks like on with the belt. I did not make a belt with this fabric because I don't know, I just didn't do that. But you know, if you want to do that, then you could do that, because you know, that would just, you know, add to like, you know, what you could use this dress for. So yeah, that is that for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Alright, so that is it for this tutorial. I hope it was easy for you to follow. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you're subscribed, okay? If you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe, okay? And make sure you turn the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post a new video or a new tutorial. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or any contributions that you may want to add, you could leave a comment down below, or you could go check my new Instagram page. I have a new Instagram page just so you could go check me out. You could go follow me and send me a DM if you have anything that you want to, you know, ask about or anything like that, and I would reply you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.